Hello everyone, my name is Xiaofeng. I'm a PhD student from UC San Diego. The work I would like to share with you today is, does increased Amazon usage benefit or hurt its competitors? Analyzing the adoption of Amazon Prime. This is a joint work with Professor Zhang and Professor Kevin Zhu. E-commerce has been growing very fast, and in the most recent 10 years, the percentage of online sales in total retail sales was more than doubled. As the largest e-commerce company by revenue in the US and one of the world's largest online retailers, Amazon by itself captured near half of all e-commerce sales over the country and hundreds of millions of monthly visits around the world. We may wonder what's the impact of increased Amazon usage on other online retailers. It is not hard to imagine there might be a negative effect, because Amazon has a larger user base and provides better services in product recommendation, delivery, and return. On the other hand, it could also have a positive effect. The increased Amazon usage could reduce consumers' overall psychological resistance of e-commerce and benefit other online retailers by enlarging the market. But it is not clear which effect will dominate and when it will dominate. In this study, we are trying to answer two questions. The first question is, for the consumers whose Amazon activity increases substantially, does their spending at non-Amazon online retailers increase or decrease? In other words, which effect will dominate? Negative competitive effect or positive spillover effect? In question 2, we deep diving into a potential moderator, consumer prior experience with e-commerce. This is corresponding to the question when it will dominate in the previous slides. We also bring up a comfort hypothesis to explain the observed change. The theoretical tension makes the question very interesting, but it is also a hard question to answer. E-commerce has been gradually and organically growing over time, and it is hard to capture a moment when consumers' Amazon activity increases substantially. So Amazon Prime adoption came to our mind. Why Amazon Prime Shock could be useful? Amazon Prime membership offers 2-day free shipping in the US, and it significantly lowers users' shopping frictions at Amazon Marketplace. And we also find some users' Amazon activity increases quickly after adoption. So in this paper, we identify users' Amazon Prime adoption as a discrete and immediate shock to the relative value of Amazon versus non-Amazon online retailers. In the next few slides, I will explain how we define the groups. Within qualified Amazon Prime users, we identify new users and renewing users. To answer question 1, we need to find Prime users whose Amazon activity increased more after Prime adoption. So we split new users into two groups based on the value of their Amazon activity change. Amazon activity change is the number of Amazon orders year after Prime adoption minus year before Prime adoption. And we get high change users and low change users. High change users is our main interest. This plot is Amazon spending after removing monthly seasonality. Y-axis is log amount of spending at Amazon Marketplace, and x-axis is a month since Prime adoption. The plots are centered on the time around Prime adoption equal to 0. The red line is high change users, and we can see their average Amazon activity increases a lot quickly after Prime adoption. Renewing users and low change users are the control groups. In this plot, renewing users have an increasing trend on the Amazon activity, so they could help us to control for the macro time trends. For the low change users, they also adopt the Prime at t equal to 0, but their average Amazon activity doesn't have much change afterwards, so they will be used to control for potential self-selection issues. To answer question 2 about the moderator, we do another split on new users by their online shopping experience. We take the interaction between these two splits, but only distinguish the experienced and novice users in the high change group. So there are 3 types of Amazon Prime new users: high change experienced, high change novice, and low change users. We can see both high change experienced users and high change novice users have a similar and big increase on Amazon spending after Prime adoption. In this study, we use difference in difference and event study models and analyze consumer-level transaction panel data. We extract 9 months before and after the Prime adoption or renewal for each Amazon Prime users, and then we compare their non-Amazon online spending during the before and after periods. We get some very exciting results. For the overall effect, the positive spillover dominates. Let's have a look at the difference in difference result. Compared with the 2 control groups, high change users get a positive effect on the spending of non-Amazon online retailers after Prime adoption. We also did a quick check between low change and renewing users. The result shows there's no significant change after Prime adoption within these 2 groups. Another interesting result is, when we consider the moderator, the prior online shopping experience, user spending on other online retailers does react differently. High change experienced user spending decreases, and for high change novice users, it is an increase. The event study could give us a better understanding of the result. This plot shows how the impact of increased Amazon usage change over time and across different groups. During the pre-adoption periods, the 95% confidence interval contains zeros. It verifies the common pre-trained assumptions in the difference in difference model. During the post-adoption period, we can say, compared with control groups, there is an increasing trend for novice users and a slightly decreasing trend for experienced users. We propose a comfort hypothesis to explain the difference. The increased Amazon usage could only boost users' comfort with e-commerce to some extent. In this section, I'm going to share some evidence of validating the comfort hypothesis. First, we compare the overall effect for apparel and electronics. Positive spillovers are more salient for apparel than electronics. When we look into the moderating of prior online shopping experience, we find for high change novice users, even the interaction coefficients are both significantly positive. They have a higher percentage change on apparel spending than electronics. For high change experience users, overall effect is negative, and we also find a negative coefficient for the spending on electronics product, but there's no significant change on apparel spending after having Prime. All the results align with the fact that the comfort with e-commerce is more important for apparel due to its non-digital attributes. We also study the change of return ratio and find novice users' return ratio increases after the Prime adoption, but there is no significant change for experienced users. This result shows novice shoppers are getting more comfortable with interacting with online stores after Prime adoption. Our results are robust to various assumptions and empirical strategies. Here I'm going to show 2 robustness checks for reducing potential self-selection concerns. The first one is, does income change drive the impact? Our answer is no. This plot shows income change among 4 groups. We can see a gradually increasing trend, but there is no big income jump around the adoption time. Another question is, whether the lifestyle change will lead to the result. The answer is also no. We studied the spending change of some users who adopt the Prime membership right before some major shopping seasons. For example, Black Friday. These users' Prime adoption is more likely driven by the benefit of Prime, instead of other lifestyle change. We find the results are consistent with our main findings. To wrap up the presentation, I would like to highlight 3 implications of our work. The first 2 are related. We present the impact of a dominant player's growth on other firms, and the insight could also be helpful for other emerging markets. For example, online grocery shopping and food delivery during the COVID-19 pandemic. The third implication is that user experience for a new technology or product does not only be preserved within one firm. Other firms could benefit from the spillovers of the experience. This is all I would love to share with you today. Thank you for coming.